It's time for the Wendy Williams Show. Today, hot talk with wrestling hunk David Otunga, New York newswoman Rosanna Scotto, and pop cultureista Carolina Bermudez. Plus, Wendy's in the kitchen cooking up a St. Patty's Day favorite. And Judge Judy, legal trouble? We've got the latest. Now, here's Wendy.
Salons and wherever you are. Better now. I didn't want to wear it to begin with. Anyway, look, no, we have a wonderful show for you today. Sharon Stone is being called the boss from hell. Tiger and Elin are both hooking up, but not with each other. And shout out to friend in my head, Eddie Murphy. Eddie, I'm sorry to hear about what's going on. But trust me, you don't need lawyers to help you when I'm here to do whatever you need. I got your back. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. Hi, everybody. I'm glad that you're here. It's Friday, or excuse me, Thursday? Is it Thursday? Okay, so you see where my mind's at. All I wanted to do was be comfortable today. You saw I'm comfortable in my shoes. I ran out to you. And this dress I've had for years, but it's like an old friend, so I was able to run out. You know my center part Twombek, but it's a side part. And I wanted minimal jewelry, and this piece right here, I feel adds something that I don't want to be added on an easy breezy Thursday. But with all due respect to my stylist, Memsor, how you doing? I'll keep it on, but just know I don't want to wear it. So now listen. Judge Judy, I know she's headed to court, but this time she's the one being sued. I know, you wonder. Let me explain. Okay, one of the producers from her show, Judge Judy, has been going through this nasty divorce since 2007. First of all, that alone is ridiculous. The producer sold Judy a $500,000 set of Christoph China for a little over $50,000. The producer's wife, who he's not yet divorced from, they've been going through this since 2007, recently found this out. First of all, how big is your house that you know, that you don't even know that a $500,000 worth of China has been missing? Look, so the producer's wife claims that the sale was made without her consent and the China still belongs to her. California is one of those 50-50 states, so as soon, you can't do something like that until you sign off on the divorce papers. Then whatever you have, you don't need permission. The wife wants her China back or a $500,000 plus damages. Well, this is so nasty now that Judy's actually talking about it. She says, I'm gonna do Judge Judy. Which, her voice in my head sounds a little bit like my mother's too. Yeah, a little annoying, there's an accent. I don't know this lady a cent. And if this 50-year-old woman would spend her time more productively at trying to find a job instead of abusing the judicial system with frivolous lawsuits, we would all be a lot better off. First of all, number one, how are you all clapping over this? I totally think that Judge Judy, first of all, I like that you're catty because it shows that you're not above being sometimes like the rest of us. You know what I mean? The 50-year-old woman does not need a job. You know, how about if she owns a $500,000 China set, then chances are she doesn't have to work. Listen, in my mind, like, working is for suckers. You know, I work because I wasn't born rich, I didn't marry rich. If I didn't have to, trust me, I wouldn't be working either, and I would be offended by something like this, the 50-year-old woman finding a job, you know? Second of all, it's a 50-50 state in California, Judge Judy. You should know the law. You weren't supposed to be buying this China off this man. Their divorce is not finalized. But being that you're like one of the richest women on TV at this point, why don't you just give the man back his China and be done with all this? We don't want to, you know. And for the producer, listen, shout out to all the producers here at Wendy. I am sorry that you're not being paid like the producers at Judge Judy, where you have a $500,000 Christoph China set. That's really something. Anyway, Judge Judy, get it together, and I'll check in with you tonight from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., like I always do. Every day, Judge Judy's a part of my life. Okay, now look. You know I love Eddie Murphy, never met the man in my life. He's the only man in my head who's a friend in my head. I used to be friends in my head with John Legend, but I kicked him out because once I got the talk show and then he's all engaged and in love, we're just too busy for one another. And so we're not friends in my head anymore, John Lennon. But Eddie is, what did I say? Whatever I said. I also said that it's Friday, so go figure. Anyway, Eddie, friend in my head, I heard what's going on. What I heard is Eddie has a son who wants to follow in his comedic footsteps. And I was really excited about it because the boy looks just like Eddie. And if he's funny, and he's like, you know, 20-something. But then I just found out that this Eddie guy is an imposter. The son is an imposter. According to the National Enquirer, the man has been posing as Eddie's 23-year-old son, Brando. Alleged to, you know, Eddie has an ex named Paulette, and you know, from many years ago. So he does have a son named Brando, but not this guy who's been impostering, who was in the Enquirer. He even headlined, Eddie, do you know that he even headlined a Sons of Comedy tour with Richard Pryor's son? Eddie piled up his legal team and is going after this kid. In the meantime, I know you're wealthy, but lawyers cost money, and why call your lawyers when you can call me and my team? We will get to the bottom of everything. And I'll file my report through the TV. But here's the interesting thing, Eddie. Do you know that when first of all, you know, we follow this Brando, who's now fake, we follow him on Twitter. Just so we can get closer to you. And when we got a pop-up saying you have mail from Brando Murphy, we opened it up. Now every computer here has a virus. Thank you. Yeah, it was a virus bug. And regarding the picture of him, I can't show you the picture because legally, you know, you can't show the picture of this guy. But if I can tell you, it's a black and white picture, and he looks a lot like Eddie and a little bit like Dr. Martin Luther King. And another thing, the flyer for this Sons of Comedy, I wanted to show you that through the TV too, but we can't do that for legal reasons either. But just trust me when I tell you, if you've ever got a situation and you need help and people to fan out, don't call the lawyers, call us. So now, the update about Tiger and Elin is that they're hooking up but not with each other. And I told you that part. But what I love about her hookup, he's convenient because he lives right next door. Okay, apparently she lives next door to a multi-millionaire coal tycoon who likes to play dress up and role play, a la the picture. Anyway, his name is Chris Klein. He's 53 years old. He's been married twice. His last marriage ended in divorce in 2000. So you figure he's had a lot of time to marinate, you know, sow his wild oats, and now he's, I guess, maybe playing for real. Which is great because now she doesn't have to move to his house. If they get married, they just, you know, dig a tunnel or make a hole in the fence. It's easy. Meanwhile, Tiger is still with that skier, Lindsey Vonn, except they're not really in a committed relationship. They're just kind of, I guess, testing the waters. And Tiger and Elin have been spotted together with their kids. So apparently, this is the best possible world for them. I mean, this is what, if divorce is the worst, but if you're gonna go through a divorce, the best way to end it is where you can be friends. If Tiger's over at Elin's house and it gets late, that he could sleep in a guest room. That, you know, every once in a while, maybe they'll hook up, but maybe she doesn't want to keep him for real. Or something like that. Anyway, I'm happy for all around, especially Elin with the lover next door. That's good, right? You gotta be very mature though, because when if that love goes bad, what are you gonna do, sell your house? You know? Anyway, okay, so Sharon Stone, who I love, she is being accused of being a boss from hell. Well, this is we try to find the appropriate pictures to go along with each story. Look, so Sharon's former housekeeper is suing her for wrongful termination. According to the complaint, she was put on bed rest, the housekeeper, after she hurt her back taking the groceries out of the car for Sharon. Well, Sharon was like, bed rest, schmed rest, I'm ordering you back to work now. So when the housekeeper complained, Sharon allegedly called her crazy, stupid, and then fired her. I'm sure she called her a whole lot more. I heard some of it. Most of it I can't say here for you. Anyway, Sharon's lawyers call this suit meritless and frivolous and claim that the housekeeper was never fired. My thing is, why do you even get in situations like that with people who are inside of your house, around your diamonds and around your children, and they could put itching powder in your bed? And I'll tell you what, all that house, I don't want to put any ideas in anybody's head, but all I'm saying is, you know how when you see one roach, you see a lot? If you went to somebody's house with 3 roaches and let them loose, now that's how you get somebody back. Or a mouse, you know, let it loose. Anyway, I don't understand. I mean, Sharon has 2 kids, and there's something about her that I do believe is absolutely lunatic. I tend to believe this housekeeper story that, I just can't believe that Sharon, though, would be so careless as to be mean to the woman, and, but apparently after digging more, this isn't the first time she's been sued by an employee. Last year, I know. So once you say maybe it's not true, twice you're like, Sharon? And then you follow it up with that picture right there. You're like, girl. Last May, a nanny alleged that Sharon made a slur about her Filipino heritage, accent, and food. Sharon allegedly told the nanny to stop talking to her kids so they won't talk like you. I'm not gonna say another word, Sharon Stone, but you really, if this story is true, you need to treat the people that work in your house a little bit better, or you're gonna find itching powder in your thongs. Or you go under the sink with a wrench and you loosen that one big lug nut, so when they turn on the water goes every place. I mean, you don't play with people who are in your house. You treat them the best. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger's son is gorgeous, and apparently she's following in her famous parents' footsteps. Her name is Ireland. She's there in the middle. She's 17 years old, and she just signed a big deal with a modeling agency. She stands in flat feet, 6'2". And isn't she gorgeous? I mean, okay, so her mom, Kim Basinger, started modeling in her career when she was 16 years old, and then she, rolled over into acting. And you see her father, while he might be a little cuckoo, and have a temper problem, he's a gorgeous, all the Baldwins, just gorgeous people. Can you imagine having a daughter that's 6'2"? Well, I could. Because I'm 5'11", and my husband is 6'2". So if we did have the doctor already thinks that our son is gonna be between 6'5" and 6'7". it makes me say, well, thank goodness I have a son then, not a daughter. I don't know what I would do with her because I have the height, but I also got the fat tendency, you know what I mean? And what's the point in being 6'2" if you can't Kris Kardashian the situation? You know, put her out there, let her model, do something or whatever. I'll tell you, when you have height for no reason though, it really does look strange in a regular world. And I can say this as a tall girl, like, thank God, I'm a talk show host, and so when I walk into a room, it's like, what the? Oh, that's Wendy, you know? I was in traffic court one day, many, many years ago, and I told you I love to observe court. I don't like to be in trouble. So I got there early specifically just to see it all go down. In walks this, no lie, he had to be 7 feet 3 inches tall with a suit on. Turns out it was the lawyer, not an NBA player. Like, can you imagine being a 7 foot 3 inch lawyer or school teacher? Or it's like all that height for no reason. It's just weird. It's odd being tall in a very short world. And so if you're going to be tall, it's best, I guess, that you, well, anyway, whatever. Hey, Ireland, you're gorgeous. Pretty. So, there's another reality show, 2 of them actually in the works. The first one, I'm totally watching. It revolves around the 90s girl group SWV. Oh. I know! You're the one for me. I like Coco, Taj, and Lily. Okay, according to alwaysalist.com, the show about these 3 girls is gonna focus on, well, what do you think? Their return to the spotlight, and their drama off stage. Now, it's also going to explore why they broke up in the first place. Well, I would like to hear that also, because the one in the middle is like the Beyonce of the group, and apparently she got, carried away with that. This is according to what I used to talk about on the radio with what happened to them, why they break up. They're gonna clear it up on the reality show, but she was the Beyonce of the group, and kind of, I guess, you know how you leave Michelle and Kelly to the side and you go out and do your solo career, only that didn't work out so well. And then the one in the blue, all the way over there, that's Taj. And Taj was married, or maybe she still is, to Eddie George, that football player. Every once in a while, they used to go on Dr. Oz and do nutrition, but more importantly, they had a reality show, but it didn't really take off, so that didn't work out too well. And then the one in the red, Lily, I don't really know anything about Lily. Other than that, I would say she's probably, anyway, they're gonna tell their story and I'm watching that show. And then the other reality show is gonna star Jessica White. Do you know who that is? She's gorgeous. She's one of those models with a makeup line, Maybelline. She does the Maybelline ads. And she's got an edge. Now, what the reality show is going to be about, I don't know. I guess following her around from modeling. She's not quite Naomi crazy, but she's got a little thing with her. Like, I remember back at, first of all, she also dated Sean Penn, so, yeah, she's down with the swirl. But more importantly, I remember back in 2010 in the New York Post, there was an article about Jessica beating the stew out of a woman outside of a New York City nightclub. So she fights, she swirls, she models. That's Jessica White. All right, so we haven't talked about Susan Boyle in a long time. I think she's still singing, but more importantly, now she's acting. Yeah, she's gonna become a movie star. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Susan will be making her film debut in something called The Christmas Candle. And look at her, ta-da! The oldest virgin ever. Saying. All right, anyway, on this, first of all, this piece is set in 1890, and no word exactly who Susan's going to be playing, but we do know that it involves wearing a bustle. You know, that thing that you wear back here. Anyway, so here's a picture of her on the set. No, the bustle's in the back. I don't know what that is in the front. Maybe craft services? Look, then she says that it's very cold on the set, so she wears long johns underneath her costume. Yep, that's a way to keep the boys away, Susan. You keep going. Look, we have a great show for you today, everybody. Celebrity chef Danny Boom is here, and the building is abuzz. Danny's gonna show us how to cook some delicious St. Patrick's Day specialties. But up next, we've got news anchor Rosanna Scotto, pop culture expert Carolina Bermudez, and actor and pro wrestler and fiance, I think still, to Jennifer Hudson, David Otunga is here. They're gonna join me for our Hot Talk panel. It's our weekly discussion of the hottest topics. Keep it here. Time for us to discuss this week's hottest topics in our latest edition of Hot Talk. Joining me today are the co-anchor of Fox 5 here in New York, Good Day New York, Rosanna Scotto. Also, one of the co-hosts of WNYW's Live from the Couch, Carolina Bermudez. And WWE superstar who is actually also acting in a movie called The Call. It opens on Friday. This is David Otunga. Now, David, before we get started, are you still engaged to Jennifer Hudson? And why are you wearing a ring on your wedding finger? You snuck and married? Ooh.
This technically is my engagement ring. I have a man engagement ring that I wear all the time and never take it off. But to answer your question, we are still engaged, still moving forward with plans. But between our careers, my movie coming out, her filming a movie right now.
Justice of the Peace.
That too. Everything. Well, I mean, somebody wants a big wedding. Somebody could just go to Justice of the Peace. So we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
I know, right?
I don't know. I do have the man engagement ring.
Okay. Man engagement.
You might be more high maintenance.
Okay, let's get into the stories. First of all, everybody's talking about this Facebook COO. Her name is Sheryl Sandberg, and Sandberg. She's got a controversial new book. It's called Lean In, as in lean in. And she points out that among other things, women are, we are scared of being disliked, and we feel like we have to choose between a career and family, and sometimes we hold ourselves back as women. Does she have a point? I mean, I guess the question would be, does she have a point? Are we holding ourselves back, and do we have to choose?
I think so, but the controversy is this. Some people feel she's so elitist. But, this is a woman who comes from a working class family.
Her father was an eye doctor or something, and
so
she went to Harvard.
She went to Harvard, okay?
Well, there you go.
You too.
She worked hard to get to Harvard. She worked hard to be at the top of her class. She was handpicked by her professor to go to the Treasury Department in D.C. From there, she was handpicked by the head of Google to get a great position there. Then handpicked by Mark Zuckerberg to come over there and be the #2 at Facebook.
And then handpicked by a man who put a ring on it, and he's a billionaire. So, she's got a charmed life.
Okay, but the bottom line is this. The book, she's getting a lot of flack because it doesn't appeal to everybody. Well, whose book does appeal to everybody?
Yeah, right.
And the bottom line is working women know that you have a problem when you get into whatever field you decide to go. Now, Wendy, tell the truth. When I started, a friend of mine, very successful woman.
She's got kids, by the way, in Rosanna, and she's married, so you've done it all.
Okay, so I know about mommy track, trying to balance both things. But I remember when I started as a TV newswoman, I had a friend of mine, very successful TV newswoman, who said to me that her boss said to her, when she asked a question, a tough question, to say it with a smile. Because otherwise, she would be perceived as being a B.
Okay.
Okay?
Let me just interject. Women make up 47% of the workforce, yet we only make up 4% of CEOs in those Fortune 500 companies. Well, at least we're doing better than black people. We make up a large, but that's a whole nother conversation,
We only make 77 cents to every man's dollar, though, as well. That's another statistic that was in that article.
Do you think that women do you think we get in our own way?
I do believe sometimes we want to be the, a little bit of the shrinking violet. You're afraid of getting judged. You don't want to be that girl.
Yeah.
But,
Or we do things like we blame things on PMSing, which I've never wanted to, I get my period like everybody else. I even believe that women BS when they talk about, I want to kill, so I stabbed him because I was hot flash. Like, really?
No.
I think that we use, I think that this woman's book First of all, I think that for the most part, this is kitchen table talk. She's very brave to write this book because we're all sitting back and judging. I don't believe that that we are where we need to be in the workplace, but I also believe that sometimes, yes, we do get in our own way. Like all of a sudden, you know, your kid is sick at school and you have to leave to go pick the kid up. There's nobody else that you can call.
You don't hear about the father leaving work early to go pick up the kid.
Because
So
the mother's doing it.
even though the women have evolved and we've gotten great jobs and we're moving up the
We
corporate
still have to
ladder,
empty the dishwasher.
We still empty the dishwasher and we still run home when our kid gets a scrape on the knee. That's the way it is. And the boss doesn't want to know that. So
That's
the woman,
the thing.
Okay?
The boss doesn't want to know that.
So the
Blame it
women
on the
have to-
boss.
Well, because our bosses are men.
When I was in radio, let me tell you something, and I got pregnant with little Kevin, and I had already had the miscarriages, and I knew that it was going to be a tumultuous pregnancy, and I had to be on bed rest. So it's radio. You could put the little thing in my house with the microphone. I go to my boss and I say, look, I'm pregnant. He could barely look up from his paperwork. I said, you know, the doctor said I have to be on bed rest, but I still want to work and not make it a pregnancy show from home. I want to have fun and take my mind off my troubles. I said, can I please, you know, get the radio installed at my house? He was like, sure, fine. Needless to say, that was not the answer that I was looking for.
And you felt guilty about it,
I
right?
felt guilty. I felt guilty about being a woman, but I still worked through the pregnancy. The ratings didn't suffer, and that's that. But I just don't think.
But women want to be liked. That's the bottom line.
Right.
We don't want to be, you know, the B in the group. We want to be liked. And listen, the boss doesn't want somebody who's a B either. They want somebody who's attractive.
Yeah, but your coworkers, I think it has a lot to do with your coworkers start looking at you cross-eyed if you come up in a meeting and you start talking about things and they don't like when
being
people
a girl.
Well, exactly. And you know, I think that the problem is that we have to be that person. You have to be assertive. You have to be aggressive. You
have to act like a man, but be a lady.
Still be a lady. Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to our next story.
David didn't weigh in on that.
Oh, David, I'm sorry, David. Oh my God.
I think
Well,
he's
I mean,
afraid.
I was coming from a man's perspective. I mean, you know, at Harvard Law School.
Be careful what you say.
I will. At Harvard Law School, about 50% of the class was women. Super highly successful, some of them with families. Then I worked at the largest law firm in Chicago, the same one Barack and Michelle Obama worked at. Super prestigious. There was even more women there, all with families now.
Right.
They were partners in, you know, high positions. So you definitely can be successful and have a family at the same time. I don't know if
I
it's
don't think
because
it's going to be perfect, though. I mean,
maybe
nothing's
not.
ever perfect.
But then one other thing, I need to defend the men on one thing. There are some men who are the ones that rush home and take care of the kid. Like, I took time off work to go home and just be with my son on his dental appointments. I've never missed one. A dental
You're
appointment,
one in a
doctor's
million.
appointment.
You're a jewel.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. But I mean, especially being in entertainment, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, so on Tuesday, everybody, we're going to change stories. Here in New York City, our Mayor Bloomberg, his much discussed ban on large sugary drinks. Okay, so on Tuesday, instead of thumbs up, the state Supreme Court did a halt to this.
Yeah, they're postponing it right now.
The jumbo-sized sodas, everybody, that's the big fight. Now, my question is, how many ounces? Is it 60?
Over 16.
Over 16 ounces of soda. They won't be available here in New York if Mayor Bloomberg has his way. Do we agree with the Supreme Court's decision to, like, we're not letting this happen? Or do we agree with the mayor and continue to fight the fight?
Oh, I
in the name of good health?
absolutely agree with the Supreme Court, and thank you for doing this. Mayor Bloomberg, I found your nose. It's in my business. Get out of it.
Good one.
I want to make my own choices, and I feel like he's getting involved in too many things. There are so many other issues to New Yorkers right now that we need to be addressing.
I just know where this was going to end. I mean, like, okay, so I order a large pizza. Do I have to prove that there's 4 people eating it with me? Like, you know, is it 2 slices?
It's a very slippery slope.
However, the mayor did have a good point. This weekend, he went on all the national news shows, and he said, you know, obesity is not a rich person's disease anymore. It's a poor person's disease. They don't have the choices. They're not educated on what's better for you. Listen, I grew up, my dad told me all the time, don't drink that soda. It's empty calories. So I knew I wasn't going to have a big glass of Coca-Cola. I'd rather have a slice of pizza. I'd rather eat my calories than drink it.
Right,
Well, I do agree. I always say that. I'd rather eat my calories than drink them. However, I do think, David, you weigh in first, and I'm going to tell you what I think.
Oh, man, you know, I don't know. I'm definitely somebody who's really concerned with my physique, and I pay careful attention
And you
to my
got that
diet.
skinny wife.
Who also pays attention to her physique.
Fiancé.
But, you know, we weren't always that way. And we grew up, you know, eating junk food and all kind of stuff, but then learned how to control that.
Does the
But
government need to be in your business?
That's the thing. I hesitate to go that way, but at the same time, I mean, it is a fact. Obesity is an epidemic.
Okay, here's the other
Something-
fact. Obese people do know how to read. You read the calorie content, the sugary content on every single thing that's available. The government should not have anything to do with this. I think that Mayor Bloomberg is just on one, and it's not very attractive. Yeah. If you're fat or you're thin and you want to watch your weight, just read the
But why make it easy, though? Why make it easy? You can still go out and buy those 2 bottles of 16-ounce Coca-Colas, but you're not going to get a big Slurpee.
Maybe nutritional education is the way to go. Like teaching people more
It's on the
about
labels,
diet.
David.
I know, but not everybody knows what's what. Some people
Everybody
just look,
knows there's a label.
They
You know
just look at
water's
if it's
better than
fat-free.
soda. I mean, that's pretty
That-
simple.
that's
you know,
true.
I mean, and
Water
you can
gets
make the
boring.
choice.
Hey,
It does
listen,
get
I
boring.
get that. Every once in a while, I love a grape crush. Full fat, I love it. Look, here's the thing. Does being slutty lead to success in Hollywood? We'll talk about it next. We're back with our Hot Talk panel. Okay, former Pussycat doll, Nicole Scherzinger, Schlesingberger. She's raising eyebrows with an interview that she gave to The Atlantic. And here's what she told The Atlantic. She said, oh, here it is. To be honest with you, I sometimes wish I were more slutty. I'd probably be a lot more successful if I were. To make it, you really have to sell your soul to the devil. That's probably why I haven't quite reached the top of my mountain. I mean, where's my Tony Award, my Grammy, my Oscar? Why don't I have any of those things yet? You sound like a box of rocks. Okay, you said this to The Atlantic and stupid, I mean, sorry, I said I wasn't gonna say that anymore. Girl, you didn't think we'd find this quote, did you? Okay, so the question is, do you have to be more slutty to make it, we'll say in Hollywood, even though she didn't add Hollywood here? And I'll go first. Okay. That depends on who you are. Can you sleep with yourself at night and the whole bit? This is just a stupid statement that she made. It's just stupid. What do you say, Rosanna?
Well, I'm going to say how much sluttier can she get? I mean, really?
So you've heard things too?
You know, look at that. Hello. Wow. But, you know, she has a point. I mean, in Hollywood, it's like if you're a degenerate, they give you your own show. You know, you get rewarded for bad behavior in Hollywood. You are, you know, the exception, David.
Thank you.
But
Did you sleep your way to your role?
Of course not.
Or you the star of the movie?
Not yet. Well,
If you
yes,
put out,
I'm
maybe you
I'm
would be,
the star.
according to what this girl is saying. But you know what I mean?
I'm the star in my mind. No, I understand that, but I mean, I just have such a problem with that because I think it sends such a bad message. Like, provocativeness, sluttiness does not equal
This sounds
success.
like sour grapes. It sounds
Yeah,
to me, Nicole, no disrespect, but if you were more talented than anything, maybe you'd be more successful in Hollywood.
I got something to add to that.
Okay.
I happen to know, you know, a recording artist very well who's won just about every award there is. And she's never done anything provocative or sold her soul in any way and's gotten to where she is off of pure talent.
Yes.
Right. Well, it depends on what kind of success you're looking for. And I think you look at somebody like, you know, your fiance, or you look at an Adele, who's never had to sell herself out, who is who she is, and look at her success. I mean, she just got her Oscar. She's won countless awards. So, you know, maybe it's in the material that Nicole is choosing as well. You know,
Nicole.
I mean, there's also that. So.
Yep.
You can't win this one, girl.
Yeah. Sorry.
And you should, where's my Tony? Where's my Grammy? Where's my Oscar?
You know what? Rita Moreno did that. She won, what is it called? The EGOT,
Yeah.
the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, the Tony.
Oh, really?
And she worked her buns off, and she did it the old-fashioned way. Try that, Nicole.
Yeah, try that, Nicole. Anyway, thank you all for being here. This is a lot of fun. For more information on our panelists, go to wendyshow.com. Up next, everybody, celebrity chef Danny Boom is here. And Danny's gonna cook up some delicious St. Patrick's Day treats. Keep it with us. Hi. So St. Patty's Day is this weekend, and here to help and share some great recipes from the Irish tradition, please welcome the host of Recipe Rehab, the very handsome Danny Boone. Yes, you are. Wow. Okay. So, Danny, tell everybody what we're making today.
Okay, guys, so we're going to be making two really traditional Irish dishes. The first thing is corned beef and cabbage.
Yes.
Okay, everybody knows that. Really cheap dish, really great, flavorful. And then I've made this for you. These are Wendy's hot Irish potatoes.
Okay.
Okay? Because I know you like a little bit of spice.
Do I?
And everything's nice.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so literally what we've got in here...
Wait, what's
Oh,
that?
yeah, sorry, to wash it all down, we're going to make our own Wendy's shamrock shake.
Oh. Okay.
All right?
So let's get started.
So the first thing is we're going to talk about the basic briskets. That's what corned beef is. And it's this plate of the cow, real fatty piece of muscle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it into... Now, this is a 16 quart pot.
Everybody should have one of these.
Everybody should have... And if you don't, and you got basically like just a normal Dutch oven, you can use one of those.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to put this in the water.
Okay.
Whoa. It's like Jaws slapping around in there. Okay, so what corned beef gets its name from is the salt kernels that it was preserved in. So we're going to add a little bit of that, a little bit of mustard.
Then why isn't it called salt kernel beef? Why corned beef?
Because it was shaped like they were big as... Back in the day when they were preserved, the sea salt was so big, so they called it a kernel of salt, a corn of salt.
A corn of salt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and then we're going to basically bring this up. We're going to bring it up, boil it up, and then in here...
You're going to add the vegetables?
Well, what we do is we bring this up to boil in... Oh, be careful. We're going to bring this up to boil in half an hour, then we simmer it for 3.5 hours. Okay? Then what we get is this. This beautiful... Can I hear a ooh from the audience?
Oh, this looks really good.
That's what we want.
And
so,
what I love about corned beef is that it's so tender. It falls off, well, there's no bone, but it falls off of itself.
So what we've got the cabbage, and we put the cabbage halfway through the cooking process, so we don't want to overcook it. A little bit of onion.
Okay.
We're going to put that there. And then here we go, everybody. I want a big ooh and a big ah when we bring this out. Here it comes, here it comes.
I love corned beef and
Look
cabbage.
at that.
With New York rye bread. This is the great thing about corned beef. Do you see this? How you just pull and pick. Just pull and pick. So tender, so delicious. Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
So that's that.
Where's the rye bread?
Oh, well.
Spicy mustard and
It's
coleslaw.
there. You want a little bit of that? Why not?
And don't forget the Swiss cheese. I need my sandwich.
And you've got your spicy sauce there. So then we have our Wendy's hot Irish potatoes, all right? Really, really easy. We're going to take some russet or Yukon Gold potatoes, low in starch. We're going to chop them up, and basically, we're going to boil them off, and we're going to look like this, okay?
Are they squishy? Is this...
Yeah, they want it squishy to al dente.
Okay,
all right?
al dente, okay.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to fry everything together. Now, on my show, Recipe Rehab, we give you healthier choices. And one of our big tips is less is more, all right? So we're only going to use 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and that goes in here. All right, then we're going to place some potatoes in there, and we've got some red green bell peppers, an onion, and then, to keep it spicy for you, some jalapenos.
Okay.
We take the bowl, we mix everything together, we cover it, because we don't want to saturate everything in oil, we just want to coat it.
Right, in the oil.
And then we have a nice hot pan.
Okay.
It goes in.
Oh, this is good.
Hear that?
This is how we make... I grew up in our house, we had breakfast potatoes all the time, and this is how my mom would make the breakfast potatoes.
So then I'm going to do a quick swap here, because then, obviously, by the magic of television...
Yeah.
Yeah, magic of television.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay.
I've got my... We're just going to do a little bit of that.
They're mushy, they're not al dente, they're good. These are really good. Corned beef is excellent. I love how you've done this. Okay, let's get to the shamrock shake.
So everyone loves the shamrock shake, right? But we're going to make it at home. We're not going to go to the fast food chain. We're going to make it at home. And we're also going to give it a bit of a kick. So all it simply is...
Look, a hobo bottle.
Yeah.
You know how hobos
From my personal collection.
Flat bottles. Go ahead, what do we do?
So what we're going to do is... Hobo bottle, love that. So what we've got is 2% milk, ice cream, some green food colouring.
Okay.
And then this is for the kids. But for the yummy mummies out there...
That's where the
then
hobo
we're going to
bottle
add
comes in?
the hobo bottle of creme de menthe.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Let's taste that. Here.
All right, let me zip it up
All
together.
right, go ahead.
So we're just going to quickly...
All right, they're telling us to speed it up.
Oh, right. Well, we're going to do that quickly.
Turn it
then.
up louder. Okay, now turn it off.
I'm turning it off.
They're telling us to speed it up. No time for formalities. Just take the top off.
Okay, you
Come
go
on.
for it.
Thank you for stopping by. So cute. Be sure to check out Danny on Recipe Rehab. Check your local listings. These recipes are great. They'll be on wendyshow.com. Up next, it's time for Ask Wendy. Keep it here. We're back and we have time for Ask Wendy. So how you doing?
How you doing, Wendy?
Very well, thank you. How can I help?
So my name is Carissa, first and foremost. So
I like your dress.
I love your dress too.
Thank
Great color.
you. Thank you.
So my question to you is, I've been dating a guy for about 2 weeks. We met through a mutual friend. He's very funny, very sweet. But I'm a little concerned about his health. He's a bit overweight. So how do I motivate him to eat better and just work out and be healthy?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, you're very, very fortunate that you were born apparently with a great body. But you cannot possibly have the nerve to say one thing to this man about his weight when you've only known him for 2 weeks. There are people that have been married for 10 years who have a difficult time talking to their spouses about weight. Keep it moving, sister. This is not the guy for you. Okay? All right. Up next, everybody, we're gonna reveal our audience eye candy of the day. Keep it here. Have a seat, studio audience. It's time to reveal our audience eye candy of the day. Before I do it, I want you to know that you all look really fabulous, but I only have one diva fan, and the winner is, drum roll please, Bendu Saidu. Hello, honey, have a fan. First of all, thank you. Come out here so everybody can see your outfit. Now turn towards the, your fans. Here's your diva fan. No, stay out here. Okay. Look, girl, first of all, you look absolutely adorable. I love your jewelry. I love that you're wearing the season's hottest flower motif. And Bendu, by the way, you're not from Jersey with that name, are you?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sierra Leone originally, but my hometown is Philly.
Very nice. All right.
I'm also from SU.
Tell us about your look. Can you face the, so everybody can see you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So my whole outfit is under $100. I got the jacket, the slacks, and the shoes from Forever 21.
Perfect.
$15, $22, $30.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's all fabulous. Look at these nails.
These are gold. I know you have a new blog, so I was like,
It's
hey.
in my nail blog.
All gold everything.
Hold them still so they can get the shot. Bendu, a mess.
You're making me nervous.
Thank you so much. You look beautiful, darling. This is Bendu, everybody. We'll be right back. That's the show. Gotta go. I want to thank the Hot Talk panel, though. Thank you all. Also, celebrity chef Danny Boone. Boom. And of course, my co-host, my studio audience. I love you for watching today. And I'll see you next time here on Wendy.